but he definitely scared away a lot of boys. He showed up at my high school boyfriend's front door with all of his big, scary friends and was like, "You better not mess up with my daughter," did the whole spiel thing. And so I would say that he was pretty embarrassing when it came to when I was in high school, like real, like dating. He was just wanted to win an Oscar for his role.
What's up, everyone? Victoria here with PopCulture.com. Today, I am very excited to be talking to the beautiful Corinne Foxx. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. We were just talking. It's Monday, so,
Yeah, it's start. I feel like this is a good way to start our weeks, set the tone for the week.
It is. It is. And some very exciting news because you guys just had season 4 of Beat Shazam, and I cannot wait to talk about that. We're going to dive into it here in just a second, but I want to check in with you and just see how you're doing. Last year was a bit of a doozy for everyone. How has your year been so far?
I was just saying this. I feel like I got through most of the pandemic and I'm an introvert, so I felt okay. I was like, I can be alone and watch movies and that's just fine. And then it just kept going. And then it got to a point where I was like getting really sad and I was having a hard time and I wasn't seeing my family. I wasn't even going to the grocery store at one point. And so now I feel like that things are opening up. There's like this light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm feeling really hopeful and I'm trying to have a hot girl summer, and so, so I feel really hopeful right now. And I hope it stays that way.
Good. I know. I think a lot of us are finally starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's super encouraging. So we hope it stays on that path. Season 4 of Beat Shazam, that you essentially co-host with your father. That has to be an amazing feeling that you guys are at season 4 right now.
Yeah, I joined the show in season 2, so this is my 3rd season. But it's such a blessing to work with family, really, like going to work every day and having my dad there, and then like my aunt does his hair, and then all our hair and makeup. It just feels like a one big family, and it's such a rewarding show. Obviously, like giving people can win up to $1 million on an episode, and so it feels great.
Good. Well, and I noticed that you guys have like audience members there too. So it feels very normal. How has that been?
Yes. Well, I will say that the show was filmed pre-COVID. We shot it last year.
Wait, what?
Yes, we shot it last year. We shot it right when things were starting to get, we didn't really know what's going on. And, we have fun during the taping. So we're singing, we're dancing in between takes and everything. Sorry, there's like a fire engine going by. And my dad at one point invites all the audience members down and gives them all hugs. And we're like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, Dad. I don't know. It seems like things might be kind of weird. He was fine, but it was just at that point we were like,
Well, it was a weird time. We all didn't really know like how serious to take it. And then I think when everything kind of shut down, I think everyone was like, oh.
Yes, exactly.
At home. Well, that's good. I mean, gosh, but it's so great to see that you guys are moving forward with the show. I love watching it. It's fun to just see if people know the songs or not. And I love guessing too, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that song.
Well, what's really cool is that you can actually play along. So if you open the Shazam app while the show is playing and Shazam the show, it creates this whole game on your phone and you can play in real time with them. And if you like get to a certain point, you can win $10,000 on the app. It's so cool.
So you can win at home. How did I
you can win at home? Oh yeah. No, you can win at home too. Because a lot of people, you're sitting there on your couch and you're like, oh, I would have known that. But when you play on the phone and you're like, you kind of realize maybe it's a lot harder than it seems.
Yes, that is true. I'm going to be doing that for sure. You and your dad seem just so close. And I'm not just saying this because I have you in an interview right now. One thing I've always really liked about your dad, I've seen a lot of his movies, listened to his songs, like jammed out to him. But one of the things that I've always loved is that I always thought it was so cute that he brought his daughter to red carpet events. And you guys just seem so close. Are you guys really that close as it seems?
Yeah, no, we really are. And my dad, like, he thinks of me, and I have a younger sister who's 12 as well. Like, he thinks of us as his world. Like he really like tells us that. And I feel like I have the confidence to enter this industry, which is a really hard industry, and there's a lot of rejection and this and that. And just, I feel so confident because I can hear my dad's voice in my head, and he's just like, you're amazing and blah, blah, blah. And he literally looks at us and just will start crying. And he cries a lot. Like he is a crier, this man.
Love that. Well, I'm glad that he encourages you. I was going to ask, I mean, being in this industry, I mean, it can be hard, it can be really hard, it's cutthroat. And so, but I'm sure having someone who has been through so much already, that he's probably a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a rock for you to give advice on what to do in those times.
Yeah, for sure. And I think something that I learned, because I grew up in Hollywood, kind of, sort of, but my dad always was like, this isn't real life, like this Hollywood and the glitz and glam, like these aren't real people, this isn't real life. And so I feel like I've taken that advice and I've brought it into my own career. And I'm like, who's really important is my family and my friends, and like all this other political things that are going on in the industry, like leave that at work. And when you come home, you're just your regular old self.
Listen, girl, I used to live in LA, and I try to tell people like Hollywood is its own bubble. And and you're like, oh, this is real life. Okay.
Yeah.
Very different.
Get caught up in it.
Yeah. Well, listen, first off, congratulations on Dad Stop Embarrassing Me.
Thank you.
You guys went #1, which is great. Well, I just need to ask, I'm very curious, what has been the one thing that you can think of that your dad has done to embarrass you?
I mean, it's every day. So it's really tough to narrow it down to one. He was pretty hard on my first couple of boyfriends. Like he was really wanting to play that like angry, scary dad role. And he's, like I said, he's such a crier. He's like he's a teddy bear. So it was all an act, but he definitely scared away a lot of boys. He showed up at my high school boyfriend's front door with all of his big, scary friends and was like, you better not mess up with my daughter, did the whole spiel thing. And so I would say that he was pretty embarrassing when it came to when I was in high school, like dating. He was just wanted to win an Oscar for his role.
I mean, like, honestly. And you were a producer, correct? You're a producer on this show, right?
Yes, I'm a producer on Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. Yeah.
So you technically have the ability, if you wanted to potentially fire your dad.
Yes. I was his boss. It was fun to have the tables turned. But my dad and I, we really creatively just click and understand each other. And the great thing, like I said about my dad, like he really, like not even just to tell us, like he really believes in me and my little sister. And so he fully trusted me with a lot of big decisions and would defer to me. And, he was like, if Corinne said it, I'll do it. And I was like, wow. So that's the key, dads. Just do whatever your daughters say.
Yes, I love that. Have you always wanted to kind of go into the world of entertainment?
No, yes and no, actually, because I think secretly I was very performative as a child. I was always dancing and putting on plays and doing all these things, but I felt like people really expected me to be in the industry just because my dad was. And so I went to school, I got my degree in something that wasn't related. I got a job in New York as in advertising. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything with entertainment industry. And then I was sitting at my desk and I was like, you know what? Like I have this passion inside of me to act and I'm going to pursue it. And I came back to LA and I did it.
Oh, I love to hear that. How about your little sister? Is she showing signs?
I'm the like actor. She is the musician. She is so talented. She's like a savant. She can play the piano perfectly. She's 12. And then she picked up the guitar and her guitar teacher told her, you could be professional level in 4 months. She's 12 years old.
Oh my God.
She really has, like, it just clicks in her head. So she's going to be the musician. I'm the actor. Between the two of us, we make up our dad.
I was going to say, he does both. So you guys,
right.
Yes. I love to hear that. That's so amazing. And good for her, honestly. I grew up on the piano and I didn't stick with it and I kind of regret it.
That's what I tell her all the time. I try, every kid, you try to do it and you're like, I hate this. And then your parents let you stop and then you don't know anything.
Yeah, you're like, no, keep going.
Yeah.
Listen, this year, again, we were talking earlier, I think everyone can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. What do you have on the books for the rest of the year? What's keeping you busy?
Yeah, so I have a podcast called Am I Doing This Right? And it's this life how-to podcast that I created with my best friend, Natalie. We basically drink a glass of wine or maybe even a bottle of wine every episode. And we go through all these life, like adulting things that we graduated college and realized we didn't know how to do, like doing our taxes and like, what is health insurance and is it a PPO or HMO? Like, how does this work? All these things that we thought were so confusing. We're like, okay, let's find a fun way to explain adult life. So let's drink wine, let's do our research, and let's talk about it. And we make it super fun. We play games and stuff, but we just wanted a podcast, honestly, for us to figure out how to do all these things.
I'm glad that you're doing that because that's something I could sit and talk to you about all day. It irks me that colleges don't prep students in that way. I didn't know how to put a resume together when I first graduated.
Yeah, no, there's so many things and like even really, really basic things like how to even deposit a check. I will tell, like, kid you not, like there's so many kids who graduate high school and don't know how to do that. And like, there's so many we also do like funny episodes, like it's not all super serious, but I do feel like empowering people with knowledge, it really sets them up for their future. And so hopefully you learn something on our podcast.
I'm gonna have to listen to that all day because there's still things that I don't know how to do and I need to like get with it.
Yes, am I doing this right? That's literally the name of it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Corinne, you're so beautiful and I'm so just excited to see your success and I wish you just nothing but the best. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Of course. Everyone, for more on Corinne and your other favorite celebrities, make sure you keep it right here at popculture.com.